Uncle Drama here. Mari is a 200-kilogram woman who has already tried to end her life because of the extremely sad things that have happened to her. She's trapped in a spiral of deep sadness, suffocated by the betrayal of a husband who despises and humiliates her. Her heart is shattered into many pieces, but it still beats for a distant love. His name is Minju, a famous singer. Mari's self-esteem is at rock bottom, and in a moment of despair, she decides there's no more reason to live. She attempts to end her life, but fate intervenes and shows her a better path. The rope that was supposed to end her story snaps because of her weight. Ironic, isn't it? In that moment of pure failure and pain, a mysterious stranger appears and changes the course of her life forever. He hands her an intriguing package and says that there is still much to live for. Inside, an unusual perfume. Curious, Mari decides to use it, and after a brief fainting spell, she wakes up to an impossible reality. Her body has been transformed. Years have disappeared from her face, and now she is incredibly slim, as if she had been reborn. This radical transformation leaves no doubt. It's time to leave the past behind and forge a new destiny. Mari runs away from home, leaving a note for her husband that he should never try to find her again. As she leaves, a young woman impressed by her beauty invites her to model for Jaido, a renowned and ruthless fashion designer. But even in her new form, the shadows of insecurity still haunt her. During a makeup session, Mari sees herself again as the overweight woman she once was, and frightened, she tries to flee the situation. However, Jaido sees something special in Mari and stops her from running. He promises to turn her into the most stunning woman in the world, and he keeps his promise. Mari walks the runway, is acclaimed, and receives flowers. But at the height of her glory, she faints on the runway. The incident blows up on social media, tarnishing Jaido's reputation and his brand. He is furious, and Mari, weak, wakes up alone on the streets, confused and vulnerable. Desperate to regain control, Mari turns to the magic perfume again, regaining her beauty. Now, she sees this transformation as an opportunity to get everything she's ever wanted. However, her thirst for power puts her on a collision course with Jaido, who considers her dangerous and unpredictable. Determined, Mari demands he hire her as his secretary, but Jaido refuses. In a final act of defiance, she threatens to reveal secrets that could ruin his career. And in a surreal confrontation, Mari proves her determination by running so fast that she catches up with Jaido's car, making it clear she will not be ignored. Next, Mari does a live broadcast, accusing Jaido of being a cruel boss and claiming he manipulated her into believing he was in love with her. Jaido denies all the accusations, but Mari continues revealing intimate details, even threatening to jump into the river, saying she'll do it because he broke up with her. The audience watching the live stream begs Jaido to save her, and under pressure, he takes her to his home. There, she is confronted by a strange vapor that scares her, but she later discovers it's just disinfectant, used to eliminate bacteria, as Jaido has an intense fear of dirt and germs. This extreme fear of anything involving microorganisms is due to a genetic mutation he's had since birth. Even so, he keeps her in his home, accepting the risk because, in some way, he feels a connection with Mari's soul. Despite this, Mari is forced to clean the house and organize everything perfectly. She works so hard that she falls asleep, and when she wakes up, she realizes she's back to being overweight. Terrified at the possibility of Jaido discovering her like this, she tries to hide, but he receives a phone call, giving her time to reapply the perfume and return to her slim form. Jaido finds her on the floor with torn clothes and takes her to a restaurant, where he's amazed to see her eat 20 kilograms of food. During the conversation, Mari reveals that she was once married but separated from her husband and now has nowhere to live. Moved, Jaido allows her to stay at his house, on the condition that she memorizes all his phobias and allergies. He's afraid of insects, birds, especially chickens, and almost any type of food, which makes Mari his exclusive cook. However, as days pass, Mari's body begins to grow again, and she bursts all the buttons on her apron, rushing to hide in the bathroom. Mari then discovers that the perfume's effect lasts only 12 hours, forcing her to set an alarm to reapply it regularly to maintain her slim appearance. She continues her routine alongside Jaido, but he doesn't like the breakfast she prepares. Irritated, Mari throws the apron at him and threatens to leave, saying she won't tolerate any more cruelty. To apologize, Jaido invites her to dinner and becomes intrigued by her red lips, while Mari, sitting on the floor, mentions that her husband never let her eat at the table, treating her like a dog. She also shares that when she got married, She was forced to give up her job and sacrifice her life for him, but in the end, she was always extremely unhappy. Jaido then tells her that her husband never truly loved her and that she needs to find true love. Later, while visiting the market, Mari sees her ex-husband with a new girlfriend and feels disgusted to realize he's already found another woman. Her ex-husband looks at her, and, afraid of being recognized, Mari quickly grabs Jaido's mask and kisses him, filling his mind with confusion. Jaido, however, becomes furious, feeling disgusted by the germs, and calls security. Mari runs as fast as she can, but Jaido catches up and forces her to apologize. She tries to justify it, saying it was just a little kiss, but for Jaido, that was enough to shake his entire being. He can't stop thinking about her and how the kiss disturbed him, leading him to make the decision to kick her out of his house. Devastated, Mari spends a night on the streets until Jaido, moved by compassion, lets her back in on the condition that she explains why she kissed him. Mari then confesses that every few hours, she feels an uncontrollable urge to kiss a man. Surprised, Jaido reveals that he has an intense phobia of the bacteria present in the mouth, and the two agree to keep a safe distance, although it's difficult, as Mari's lips seem to be her greatest poison. Minju, the famous singer Mari had always dreamed of marrying, arrives in town. Jaido knows him, but being a bit immature, he teases Minju until he gets annoyed, causing the singer to storm out of his office in anger. As he leaves, Minju stumbles into Mari, and when she looks into his eyes, she feels a warmth in her heart as if she's receiving a hug. She takes the opportunity to tell him that she's a big fan, and Minju smiles, finding her amusing and charismatic. Jaido, seeing them together, feels a strong wave of jealousy and decides to invite Mari for a meal, but he can't calm down because Minju's fans are outside the building, screaming his name. While they are eating, Mari notices that some girls are taking pictures of Minju shirtless, which bothers her. The effect of the perfume, which kept her slim, fades, and Mari returns to being overweight. Annoyed, she threatens the girls who intend to sell the photos. To prevent this, Mari bravely confronts them, but one of them knocks her to the ground. Concerned about the situation, Minju asks if she's okay and gently kisses her hand, making her extremely embarrassed, with her face turning red. Meanwhile, Jaido's assistant discovers that Mari is using the identity of a woman who died during Jaido's first fashion show. Just as the perfume's effect wears off, Mari manages to slip past the assistant and enters the modeling competition with her new body. During the competition, we learn that Mari's teenage daughter is also participating. However, her daughter doesn't recognize her since she's never seen photos of her mother when she was young. The girl, who used to hate Mari, now enjoys their conversations, unaware that she's talking to her own mother. When Mari begins to walk the runway, Jaido recalls a childhood memory. He almost drowned and was saved by a girl who looked very much like Mari. Her presence brings him a sense of security and comfort. In a nostalgic gesture, Jaido plays a melody from his childhood on the violin, which moves Mari to tears. After this intimate moment, Minju invites Mari to star in his next movie. Mari accepts the offer, though her true dream is to become a model. Jaido, ever demanding, warns her that she will need to work much harder to achieve that goal and subjects her to intense physical training. He trains her until she is exhausted, pushing her to give her all. During the training, Jaido gets closer to her, but immediately declares that he cannot have a relationship with an employee. Irritated, Mari responds that she would never be interested in someone as egocentric as him. Mari decides to get closer to her daughter to understand the reason for her hatred. The daughter reveals that she was always ashamed of her mother because of her weight and feared being bullied at school because of it. Moved, Mari regrets how things have turned out and says that her mother is very proud of her. Confused, the daughter asks how she could know that, and Mari replies that she has a sixth sense. Later, Mari discovers that her daughter always felt neglected because her father, Mari's ex-husband, was constantly involved with his new girlfriend, ignoring their daughter's well-being. Outraged by the situation, Mari decides to confront her ex-husband during one of his conferences. She shows up in her true form and publicly reveals that she is his real wife, causing a major scandal. In a protest, Mari begins to eat excessively, making everyone laugh at her ex-husband, and announces that she is getting a divorce, stating that she never truly loved him. Her ex-husband tries to humiliate her, but Mari ignores him and heads towards Jaido's house. While exploring Jaido's house, Mari discovers a secret compartment where she finds a beautiful wedding dress. She puts it on, feeling happy and beautiful. However, when Jaido finds her, he is furious and demands that she take the dress off. Upset, Mari decides to sleep outside, but Jaido, concerned, convinces her to come inside so she doesn't get sick. Exhausted, she lies down near Jaido, but he, without realizing it, closes the sleeping bag around her, making it difficult for her to breathe. Desperate, Mari calls for help until the effect of the perfume manifests again, and she manages to free herself. Afraid of being discovered, she brings Jaido to his room. However, Jaido's assistant finally uncovers Mari's secret. She confesses that she uses a magical perfume that makes her slim. The assistant, incredulous, decides to test the perfume and, to his surprise, transforms as well. Frightened, the assistant thinks Mari is involved in something supernatural, but she explains that the perfume was given to her by a mysterious man. She begs him to keep her secret, and the assistant agrees, as long as he can touch the bottle of perfume. However, he accidentally spills almost all of the contents. Desperate, Mari tries to save what's left, while the assistant promises to help her achieve her dream of becoming a model. Concerned for Jaido's health, Mari decides to take care of him, but when he wakes up, he thinks she is trying to take advantage of his weakness. Mari, irritated, vehemently denies it. Realizing he's too sick to move, Jaido finally asks Mari for help. She assists him, placing warm cloths on his back to relieve the fever. In a moment of weakness, Jaido makes a startling request, but Mari helps him with dedication. Later, she reads him romantic stories, and Jaido, moved, begins to dream of the girl who saved him as a child, carried away by his memories and emotions. Minju takes advantage of Jaido being sick and spends time alone with Mari. He comments on how beautiful her eyes are. However, Jaido overhears the comment and, furious, pushes Minju. Minju composes himself and says he has a right to be friends with Mari, leading to an argument between the two, who begin to fight over her. Soon after, Mari's daughter catches her applying the perfume and grabs it from her hands, wanting to try it too. Mari panics, worried that the perfume might have a negative effect on her daughter, like making her age rapidly. Fortunately, the perfume has no effect, as it only works on Mari. After that, they meet Minju, and Mari's daughter becomes extremely excited since he is her favorite singer. He takes her for a walk and soon discovers that the girl is a huge fan, knowing all the details about his life and career. To cheer up his daughter, Minju takes them to an amusement park, where they have a great time. Mari is happy to see her daughter smiling after so long. During the outing, Minju tries to win Mari over with his charm and smile, even inviting them to his country house. However, Mari realizes that she's about to return to her original form and steps away to reapply the perfume. But she ends up dropping the bottle, slipping, and getting stuck on a branch with a 200-meter drop below. Desperate, Mari calls for help. Jaido, despite his phobia of thunder and lightning, runs toward her when he notices a storm approaching. He fights against his fears, determined to save her, driven by strong feelings. Meanwhile, Mari returns to her heavier form, but manages to recover the perfume bottle. However, this causes the branch to break, and she falls off the cliff. At the last moment, a drop of the perfume touches her skin, transforming her back into her slim form. Jaido finds her and immediately takes her to the hospital, never leaving her side. The doctor, surprised, mentions that Mari is fine despite the fall, with only injuries to her arms. However, he runs an examination and discovers that Mari's body fat percentage is too high for her size, warning her that she needs to exercise or her health will be at risk. Jaido decides to help her by creating an intense exercise routine that leaves her exhausted. He takes care of her, cooks, washes her clothes, and almost kisses her when Minju shows up, sparking jealousy in Jaido. The two start acting like children, throwing food at each other. Jaido pours ketchup on Minju's face and playfully tells him he needs to take a bath, forcing him to wash several times until he's spotless. When Minju tries to get closer to Mari to kiss her, she jokingly says she ate onions, reminding Jaido of his phobia. He starts compulsively cleaning her, while Mari's eyes hypnotize him. Due to her injured arm, Mari can't move well and asks Jaido to scratch her back. At that moment, the two grow closer, creating a strong emotional connection, making Jaido rethink his feelings and what love truly means. However, the next day, Mari meets Minju on the street, and soon the journalists discover their encounter. They begin chasing her, taking pictures and asking if she is Minju's new girlfriend. Mari tries to escape the situation, but Minju hides her and apologizes for the trouble. He explains that, thanks to her, he managed to divert media attention away from a past relationship with a famous actress that almost ruined his reputation. He also reveals that he is still in love with the actress and asks Mari to pretend to be his girlfriend to make her jealous. Mari agrees to the request, becoming his fake girlfriend and even appearing in the news. Back at Mari's house, she finds everything turned upside down and thinks there was a robbery. However, she discovers that it was Jaido, heartbroken, believing he had lost Mari to Minju. Although he still hopes that the relationship is fake, Mari insists that she is indeed dating Minju. Jaido then reveals a secret. He is Minju's younger brother, which is why they always fight so much. With this new information, Jaido prevents Mari from continuing the relationship and reminds her of a contract she signed at the beginning of their work relationship, which forbids her from having boyfriends while working for him. He threatens to leave her penniless if she decides to leave. Despite the threats, Mari manages to escape this prison and starts working as a model in one of Minju's films. However, Minju's fans start to harass her, going as far as throwing eggs at her, which explode on her face. Mari's assistant intervenes and captures the culprit. Mari calls him immature, and the fans plot another plan to sabotage her. Meanwhile, Mari and Minju continue pretending to be in love, holding hands and being seen in public. Jaido, however, follows them discreetly. At one point, a group of crazed fans pushes Minju, almost causing a serious accident with him. Jaido, jealous of the relationship, decides to look for another place to live, but Mari is the air he breathes. To make her jealous, he starts spending more time with a friend, which awakens a huge jealousy in Mari. She forces him to return and corners him, getting closer and closer to his lips, while Jaido fills with hope that she might love him. Later, Jaido overhears Mari mentioning that she needs money. He quickly takes this as a mission and creates a dress made entirely of $100 bills. However, Minju, also jealous, steals the dress. In revenge, Jaido hits Minju on the head with a pillow, leaving him dizzier than an ant on a roller coaster. Minju recovers and takes Mari on a tour, showing her his old school and revealing that he has trauma from being locked in a room for days. He says he asked Jaido for help, but he never showed up, which created deep resentment. Mari dries Minju's tears, and as they leave the school, Jaido finds them. They decide to play the honesty game, and Minju asks Jaido why he never acted like an older brother and protected him. Jaido reveals that Minju put frogs in his backpack when he was allergic, and he almost died because of it. Jaido never told him this to avoid making him feel guilty, and Minju, unaware, feels terrible. Mari then asks which of the two truly loves her, but both remain silent, though their hearts beat like two earthquakes. The three end up having to sleep in a caravan, where there's only one bed. Mari positions herself in the middle, and the two almost touch her body. In the middle of the night, Minju gets up and almost kisses her, but Jaido wakes up and decides to place himself between them, keeping Mari all to himself, admiring her beauty while she sleeps. The next morning, Minju wakes up hugging Jaido, thinking it was Mari, and becomes furious. During the confusion, Jaido gets stung by an insect, and since he's allergic, he ends up feeling unwell. Minju then administers an injection and takes him to the hospital, where Jaido can breathe normally again. He is surprised to find out that it was his brother who saved his life. Seeing this, Mari tells Jaido that if he doesn't improve his relationship with his brother, they won't be able to be a couple. Determined, Jaido begins to make an effort to be a better brother to Minju, and Mari, in turn, tries to overcome her own challenges with her body. She finally decides to ask her ex-husband for a divorce, who begs for a second chance. However, Mari can't believe he truly wants to start over after all the harm he caused her, and firmly says she will never go back to him, preferring anything else over reliving that relationship. After that, Jaido starts going to therapy to overcome his phobia. At one point, Mari screams with all her strength, and Jaido hugs her, realizing how emotionally destroyed she is because of her ex-husband. Mari's ex-husband, claiming to know her secret, confronts her and puts her in an uncomfortable situation, getting too close to her face, to the point where his saliva touches her. Mari feels afraid, but luckily, Jaido appears and punches the ex-husband, telling him he should never approach Mari again, or he would kill him. Meanwhile, Jaido's secretary warns him that the public is starting to hate Mari, showing him magazines where her pictures are crossed out. Mari's reputation is terrible, and when she goes out in public, a group of women throw juice and food at her, telling her to disappear. Jaido becomes furious with the situation and begins treating Mari like a queen, caring for her with all the affection and protection he can give. He is then forced to accompany her to an event hosted by her ex-husband's company. Jaido goes to protect her, but her ex-husband keeps throwing hateful looks at him. Surprisingly, the event is a success, and Mari's public image starts to improve. Jaido, more in love than ever, decides it's time to confess his feelings. He appears on a television show, ignoring the cash prize, and makes a public declaration to Mari, saying that he loves not just her beauty, but also her intelligence, and that his dream is to be with her. However, Jaido discovers that Mari is not the girl he thought had saved him as a child. In fact, she is a plus-size woman, and he wants to find that person to thank her for saving him. What he doesn't know is that Mari and the girl who saved him are the same person. Meanwhile, Jaido starts spying on Mari and notices that her husband treats her very badly. Taking advantage of the situation, the ex-husband steals Mari's perfume. Jaido meets Mari's daughter and asks about her parents' relationship. The daughter reveals that her mother wants to divorce her father, and Jaido promises to help. In the meantime, Minju gives Mari a beautiful tiara, which she puts on. However, the perfume's effect starts to wear off, and the alarm goes off. Mari runs into an alley, but fails to reapply the perfume in time, reverting to her original form. Minju finds her but doesn't recognize her, thinking she's a homeless woman, and offers her new clothes. When he sees the tiara he gave Mari, he begins to grow suspicious. Later, at a party, Mari accompanies her husband, and Jaido is also present. Mari avoids Jaido's gaze because she feels like each glance burns her inside. During the event, Mari tries to retrieve the perfume from her husband's bag, but he notices, and the two begin to secretly struggle under the table. Jaido, unaware of what's happening, thinks they're holding hands and feels even more hurt, believing that Mari still has something with her husband. However, she manages to steal the bag but doesn't find the perfume. Jaido finally confronts Mari and reveals that she is his childhood crush because she saved his life. However, Mari can't say anything because her husband doesn't allow her to talk to other men. During their conversation, the ex-husband realizes that Mari is trying to get the perfume and, furious, tries to destroy it. Mari stops him, and the two engage in a physical fight. The ex-husband hits her on the head, leaving her dazed. At that moment, Jaido appears and attacks the ex-husband with a chair. He sees Mari transform back into her slim form and, confused, thinks he's hallucinating. The power at the party goes out, and Mari takes advantage of the darkness to escape. She puts on her model outfit and greets her waiting fans, but Jaido begins to suspect something. Min just sees her and imagines what it would be like to marry her. Mari then reveals to Jaido that she is the girl he's been searching for all these years, but Jaido doesn't believe it since the girl who saved him was plus-sized. Tired of the situation, Mari suggests that they go on a date. Excited, Jaido puts on his best suit and rents out an entire restaurant just for them. During dinner, he confesses his 52 phobias and 35 allergies, explaining that his deepest wounds are emotional and that Mari is the only person who can heal him, just like she saved him years ago. He gifts her flowers and asks her to leave her husband, but when she hugs him, she squeezes him so hard that he passes out. Jaido wakes up next to his secretary, who tries to convince him to forget Mari. However, Jaido refuses, saying his heart only beats for her. He gives Mari the divorce papers, but she rejects his love, fearing that when Jaido discovers that her appearance is fake, he will reject her. Later, Mari feels guilty for seeing Jaido depressed, knowing that she is the one making him unhappy. In a park, Mari stumbles, and Jaido catches her before she gets hurt in a protective gesture. The children watching comment that they look like a couple. Feeling the need to be honest, Mari reveals to Jaido that she is the girl who saved him, but he still refuses to believe it, as the girl was plus-sized. Eventually, Jaido hugs her, realizing that she really is the person he loves, and that he no longer has a fear of hugs because she cured him of his fears. However, Mari's perfume is running out, and she goes in search of the man who made it, only to discover that there is no more left. Depressed, she returns, and Jaido is waiting for her with a romantic dinner, complimenting her beauty and asking for her hand in marriage. Heartbroken, Mari refuses his proposal, not because she doesn't love him, but because she fears that when Jaido discovers the truth about her body, he will leave her. She shatters the dream of a future together, and they part in tears. When Mari reapplies the perfume, her nose starts to bleed, and she believes the perfume is a pact with the devil, thinking that when the bottle is empty, she will die. Desperate to find a way to survive, Mari is found by her ex-husband, who tries to force her to return to him. When she refuses, he hits her again and kidnaps her, taking her away in a car. Luckily, Mari's daughter witnesses the scene by chance and immediately calls the police. Jaido realizes she's in danger and bursts into her ex-husband's room just as he's about to touch her. He punches the pig so hard that he nearly makes him bald. Then, she transforms in front of him and flees, but it's already too late. She confesses that she is actually plus-sized and that all this time, she had two bodies. She tells him that it was all a lie and that she's leaving his life. But Jaido realizes that this relationship was the most real thing in his life. Slim or plus-sized, every hug he gave her made his soul shine. He makes a video saying he needs to see her. She becomes slim again, and he embraces her forever, saying he missed her. However, she feels like an imposter for hiding her true body, and they both accept that she will return to her real form. Then, her ex-husband shows up, but Jaido, with firmness and kindness in his eyes, says that she is beautiful no matter what because what he truly loves in her is her personality, the pure heart, and the vibrant soul he discovered. However, something unexpected happens. The perfume that transformed her begins to reveal its side effects. With every passing minute, she feels weaker, her energy slipping away like sand through her fingers. The bottle is almost empty, and Jaido's desperation grows as he refuses to lose her. Determined to save her, Jaido hires renowned engineers and fragrance specialists to try to recreate the miraculous perfume. However, none of them can decipher the secret formula. Her health deteriorates rapidly, growing more fragile each day. The situation worsens when she falls into a deep coma, and Jaido feels as if the world has collapsed on his shoulders. He dedicates himself to caring for her, never leaving her side. While caring for her, something unexpected happens. Jaido finds a small stone at the base of the perfume bottle, identical to one he had found years ago. This discovery rekindles a spark of hope in his heart. Remembering the stone, he follows clues that lead him to an eccentric man known for creating rare perfumes. To his surprise, He realizes that this man was the one who created the mysterious perfume. With great effort, Jaido obtains a single drop of the magical formula and applies it to the cold, pale skin of his beloved. Miraculously, she wakes from the coma, as if new life had been breathed into her body. Jaido cries tears of pure joy and relief, for the impossible had happened. But this happiness is brief. The effect of the drop lasts only a few hours, leaving them once again in a race against time. In the search for a permanent solution, they travel to the countryside and visit the perfume shop, now abandoned and desolate. The silence of the shop seems to echo Jaido's frustration. Feeling the weight of helplessness, he blames himself, but she, with her kind soul, comforts him, holding his hand and telling him he did everything he could. In the midst of this affectionate exchange, Jaido carries her on his back, as if saying he would always support her in any form she may be. She smiles, realizing that one day, when she returns to her true form, it will be she who will carry him in her arms with the same love and dedication. As Jaido carries her, he looks into her eyes and says, with all the sincerity of his heart, "You are my universe, and I want to be by your side forever." He confesses his wild and uncontrollable love, a love that transcends appearances. Then he kisses her softly, and this kiss, although gentle, explodes with an intensity that makes their lips vibrate with emotion. This moment seals their fate. They are officially a couple, determined to fulfill her dream of becoming a model. Mari uses the perfume for the last time to win an important competition. Her dream comes true, but the victory doesn't come without a price. Her ex-husband reappears, furious, accusing Mari of ruining his life. In the middle of this bitter confrontation, Jaido arrives to defend her, his heart full of courage. During the heated argument, Jaido grabs the perfume bottle and breaks it, ending any possibility of his beloved using it again. When everything seems resolved, the police arrive and arrest Jaido, and he is left in disbelief at what's happening. Without the perfume, he fears for her future, but Mari, with the serenity of someone who has finally found inner peace, says it doesn't matter. What truly matters is that she has achieved what she always wanted, to be loved for who she really is. With gratitude in her eyes, she thanks Jaido for everything he has done for her. After this whirlwind of emotions, she meets her daughter, and with a calmness born from her journey of self-discovery, tells her she forgives her. Above all, Mari is proud of the woman her daughter has become. She advises her not to repeat the same mistakes, and together they make peace, sealing a new chapter in their lives. The competition begins, and Mari walks the runway with unshakable confidence. The audience, mesmerized by her presence, cheers and applauds so intensely that their hands are hurt from clapping. Jaido, watching everything, feels immense pride, as if his heart is about to explode with happiness. When the show ends, he is there, in the middle of the stage, waiting for her with a ring shining in his hand, ready to propose to her. He sends a message, confessing that he has waited for this moment for so long, but the hours drag on, and it's already been 12 hours since the perfume last took effect. Anxious, Jaido grows frustrated when he realizes she hasn't shown up. Desperate, he searches for her and discovers she has fled. Jaido's heart races, full of fear and uncertainty. Mari had gone to the perfume shop, where she meets the man who gave her the perfume. He reveals his true identity. He is the angel of love, whose mission is to unite those who are meant to be together. He tells her that she made his task difficult by attempting to take her own life, but still, he decided to help her. Now, she has a choice: live and return to her beloved Jaido, but with the condition that she remains in her true body forever. Otherwise, she will die. Meanwhile, Jaido is sinking into the pain of her absence. Desperate, he attempts something unthinkable, eating a nut to which he is severely allergic, in an effort to end his suffering. However, his mother stops him in time, convincing him that there are still other people who love him. Jaido cries, his heart torn by the longing for Mari, and his mother, with wisdom, tells him that Mari may still return. A year passes, and Jaido continues his life, despite the constant ache in his chest. He overcomes all his phobias and becomes successful in his career. One day, upon returning home, he receives a letter that Mari had sent a year ago. Inside the letter is a necklace with a blue meteorite, and tears come to his eyes, this time filled with deep longing. At that exact moment, the meteorite glows brightly, guiding him to where Mari is, now in her true form. When Jaido sees her, he runs desperately to her and wraps her in a tight embrace, crying as if all the suffering of the past year is being released. Mari, with tears in her eyes, says that she missed him too, for her life without Jaido's smile was empty. They both realize that being apart was a real torture, and they promise never to be separated again. She shows him the ring and, with a smile, tells him that her weight or appearance doesn't matter. What he loves in her is her essence, the pure heart, and the vibrant personality that always made him a man in love. With his heart full of love, Mari also declares her love for him. They swear to spend the rest of their lives together, understanding that walking side by side with the person you love is the greatest gift life can offer, because a kiss, a touch, or a simple word from the one who ignites your heart are the true treasures of love. Remember, if you like dramas, subscribe to Uncle Drama so you don't miss the next videos. Take care,